بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All the praise and all the glory is due to Allah, and I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his last prophet and messenger. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. How to uplift our morale? It's a very important question. The title of today's lecture is on how to save time, how to save your age and your life. I start with a statement of Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah be pleased with him, in which he said, once man step his feet on this worldly life, he is regarded as a traveler to Allah. The duration of his trip is his age, and each part of his age represents a stage of the travel or of the journey. Each day and night represent a stage which is folded throughout his age. The smart one is the one who makes each destination as perfect as much he can. And he covers his stages of ages, making sure that each destination or each station in his age is the ultimate goal that he must spend. And he must seek provisions from this life to prepare himself for the longer journey in the hereafter, where he is going to meet his Lord and where he is going to receive the result of his actions. Hafsa bint Sirin used to say to the youth, "O young people, act tediously, act enthusiastically, because I saw that most of actions are being made during a person's younghood." She is paying attention to a very important and significant stage in a person's life, which is younghood. Your life is one of 3 days. A day which passed, so it is called yesterday. Tomorrow, which is your future, you don't know whether you live to reach it or not. Your day is the day that you live in, your present day. So exert your optimum effort to get the best of it, and take much provision for the grave, and try to seek Allah's forgiveness for things that you made on your last day. A man came to Dawood al-Ta'i, and he asked him by saying, "Oh Imam, advise me." Abu Dawood al-Ta'i cried and shed tears, and he said, "Oh my son or my brother, day and night are stages. Each stage has a station that reaches with you to your final destination. If you are able not to leave a day without having provisions, do that. Provide, give yourself enough provisions. And I say to you those words, and I'm sure that I have a lot of sins. May Allah forgive me." Al-Hasan al-Basri had an eloquent statement, and he said, "No day passes in this dunya or in this life, but it speaks out by saying, "Oh people, I'm a new day. I'm a witness for all your deeds. If the sun sets on that day, make sure that I will never return up to the day of a judgment." My brothers and sisters, if you ask any person in the grave, if you have the opportunity to talk to any dead person on the graves, and you ask him or her, "What's your wish? What do you like to have?" I'm sure that all of them will have or will express one wish, one thing to have. You know what's it? Everybody wished to be given a second or a minute to repent to Allah, to seek Allah's forgiveness, to ask Allah to forbear and to wipe his sins, to remember Allah, to make a righteous deed. But it's impossible. As long as you still have your time, your wealth, your life, and everything in your control. So why don't you make use of that? Why don't you keep wasting your time? Time is life. Life is Jannah. And a person wastes and wastes and wastes in his time until he leaves this life without having enough provision. Ali ibn Abi Talib used to cry and say, "Woe to me from the long journey, the shortage of provision, and the difficult path." May Allah forgive us. Our righteous ancestors used to know, or they know, the value of time. One time, Amr ibn Abd Qais was met by a man. And the man wanted to chat with him. And he said, "Can I talk to you?" You know what is the answer of Amr ibn Abd Qais? He said, "Yes, keep the sun, hold the sun, and I'm going to talk to you." It means that if you can stop time, if you can stop the clock, so I can talk to you then. Thabit al-Bunani said, "I went to my father to repeat Shahada to him before his death." You know what did his father say to him? He said, "Leave me. I'm in the 6th portion of my dhikr. I'm on the 6th regular portion of my dhikr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." And some of the people went or entered into the house of someone, and they found him on the verge of death making prayers. They said, "Why? You are dying." And he said, "Now my book is being folded," meaning that he's going to have the end of his life. And he wants to end it by a righteous and good deed. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: "سبع يجري للعبد أجرهن وهو في قبره بعد موته." 7 traits upon which or for which a person is rewarded as a running charity even after his death. Whoever taught knowledge, whoever dug a river or made a well for people to drink, or plant a palm tree, or built a mosque for people to pray, or brought a mushaf for people to read in, or left a son to seek Allah's forgiveness for him. These are the 7 matters that are a running charity, things a person reaps the fruit of them even after his death. Uthman al-Baqlawi used to remember and mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regularly. Even when he took a meal, he said, I feel that my soul is taken from my body. Why? Because I left dhikr for a while or for a second. How to economize your time and how to make best use of it. Number one, seclusion, my brothers and sisters. Seclusion in the sense that if you have time to save away from people and you are able to do that, please save your time as long as you do not make a righteous deed. So seclusion is better in this case. And you must be occupied with what benefits you. Also decrease food, because an increase of food causes excessive sleep and wasting a lot of time, especially the night, which is supposed to be spent making prayers and qiyam al-layl. Ibn Mas'ud said, I have never ever felt sorry about anything but for a day whose sun set, my age decreased, and my deeds did not increase. Hamad ibn Salama was never ever seen laughing. He was occupied, either reciting Quran, reading books of knowledge, making tasbih, or prayers. And he divided his time according to those four things. He had no time to waste, no effort to leave. Some people even, they did not have time to spend on play or in laughing, on chatting with others. We have a lot of time to waste. The train has already been lost and missed, but we still have hope in the mercy of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.